Hello, it's Tracy Shores, and kind of having the Sunday blues actually, but an interesting thing happened and I wanted to share it. I actually have been taking some notes on this topic, and I'm not even going to get up and go look at the notes. I think I'm going to do another video. I just kind of want to share preliminary on this. So my little one was sick last night with the tummy bug, my 5-year-old. And so my 8-year-old, he's out on the couch watching, a little TV, just resting. We have him a bucket. He's been doing okay today. And my 8-year-old, who's so sweet, they're like best buddies, her and him. And she comes and she has his water and she's going, Mom, I'm going to make him a fresh ice water. And I said, oh, let me help you, because I just didn't want her hands all, I was like, oh, let me. But she was helping me, and we cleaned the cup, and I got it the ice because we don't have an ice maker. I, go get the big bag of ice and fill it up with ice for him. And I was just so proud of her because she's just caring for her brother. And so she makes this beautiful ice water, and she's washing her hands. I'll wash my hands, Mom. And, she doesn't get germs from him. And so she's grabs the ice water she has in her hand. She puts it's one like a cup, like it's actually a Starbucks, like to-go plastic cup. She puts the lid back on his straw, and she's walking, and she takes a big sip of it. She goes, oh, I just took a sip of the water. It's not really funny. I was like, oh, Lily, like, I just looked at her because I said, you know what? I put my hand on her. I said, oh, Jesus, just nobody else to get the stomach bug. It's just Thanksgiving's around the corner, and the large family, like it could go through everybody. And I said, no, in Jesus' name, in the name of Yeshua, we say we'll all be well. And but this was like an hour and a half ago, but I came in and was laying on my bed, was going to take a little nap because I'd been up with him, helping him through the night, and I was exhausted. And I don't know, I was having this picture in my mind about the garden, and wanting to look back at the story, because I was thinking, the beautiful ice water. I mean, she was thirsty, I'm sure. And in our house, actually, ice waters are like a premium, and often we just share as a family. You see this gorgeous, beautiful ice water sitting there, and none of us drinks enough water, right? And so it was like, oh, and so she knew the whole protocol. She was making it, he was sick, and then she just saw that beautiful ice water, and she took a sip. And partly because, and this was the word that I had been thinking on, and I looked even like understanding patterns. I'll give you the word, understanding patterns in our lives, and patterns that form in our mind, and how they affect and shape our future. And so I was thinking that, we often drink each other's ice waters, and that was just her habit. Even though, literally just a fraction of a second before that, we were in the whole protocol of he's sick, don't touch his stuff, don't drink from him. And then she's walking to the living room with his ice water, and she takes a sip. And so, because it just looks so good. And I was thinking about Eve. I was thinking, because sometimes we're just caught off guard. It's like we have a pattern and we just do something. It's not like you're trying to do this awful sin.
Can I have some ice cream?
Oh, here's the little girl who say hello with the water.
Can I get some ice cream?
Yes, you can.
Yay!
Okay, so sorry for that. But that was her. And so, goodness, where am I going? So I'm just thinking, well, I had lots of thoughts laying on my bed. I'm thinking, thy word I have hid in my heart that I might not sin against you. And so and I was thinking even about children that are raised in amazing Christian homes where maybe there really is a lot of good training, and the love of God is there, and there's grace, and there's justice. It's just not perfect, but a well-run home. And I was really comparing that to the garden, because I was thinking, well, if anybody grew up with pureness and the most ultimate, daddy, it was Eve. She was right there, and she was fooled. And so maybe one, to give grace to us parents, as I'm even watching my own kids make certain choices, that I just take a deep breath and say, okay, Lord, how do I address that? And so, but I was wondering, did she see that tree and wow, it just looks so good? And it was kind of like, sometimes we think of it as being a long drawn out story, or was it like ching, 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 take a bite of the fruit type of thing. And then I was also thinking, had she established some patterns in her life up to that point, that was she thinking about that tree? Was she thinking, well, I don't know what kind of conversation she was having in her mind, but I just thought it interesting in relation to my little one with that cup of ice water. That was just a habit that it was like a slip of the mind. She was just going to have a little sip before she handed it to her brother, which was in our house, we're not really germies. We're okay with all that. So we share germs. We like germs. No, I'm just kidding. We don't like stomach bug germs. But so it was just kind of that habit. And so, because I've looked at a lot of the verses where the word pattern is used, and sometimes it's like even Paul just says, follow, depending on the translation, follow my pattern or follow my example, the pattern that I set out. I follow Christ, and as I follow Christ, follow me. And a big place we see that word pattern is in describing how to build the tabernacle. And so God says, to Moses that this pattern that I give you, be careful to follow this exact pattern I've given you on the mountain. Follow this pattern and all its regulations and the detail for the service and the sacrifices and basically the rituals and how that was to take place. There was a pattern, and all the detail of the tabernacle was so significant because it modeled the heavenly tabernacle. And so, but then I looked at some things even both from like a science side about patterns. And so I'm going to dig into that. But I wanted to get that part recorded because I think there's something there that I'm going to dive into. And I do want to actually grow on these videos and get to the place where you can share what you're learning and we can all learn from that, because none of us has all the information. We're all getting downloads, and I'd love to hear what the Lord shows you. So I'll be back with part 2. Blessings. Have a great day.